Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we see them, and today we're going to be talking about the Lakers. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So the Lakers have played about 4 preseason games, and thus far, I believe they have a 1-3 record. Yesterday, I tried to watch the game on League Pass, but it was absolutely messing up. Like, I tried to watch it, and it was just messing up. So I couldn't watch the game, but I know that Luka Doncic was playing. I was seeing some of the highlights of him playing. And if I could just quickly go to the box score, Luka and Austin Reeves had themselves a hell of a game. Austin Reeves scored 25 points in that game on 50% shooting from the field, 33 from the three. He did have 4 turnovers, but he had 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 rebounds. Luka Doncic, well, did Luka things, 25 points, but he did have 5 turnovers, so sloppy. You can understand that it's a preseason. 4 assists, 7 rebounds. As well. And then you had Dalton Connect chip in for 5. Bronny James chipped in for 7. Marcus Smart played 20 minutes in that game. Ayton played 26 minutes. He had a double-double with 10 points and 13 rebounds, so that's always a good sign. Christian Koloko also played some minutes. I'm waiting to hear what Maxi Kleber is going to do. I guess I have to find out what's going on with him. But anyway, they lost this game to the Phoenix Suns. Okay. And no one really has Phoenix being a very good team this year. They ended up losing 104 to 113. Now, if you know anything about Lakers head coach JJ Redick, he's a very passionate guy. Let's just use that word. And he can, be one of these guys that can just fly off the handle and, start breaking clipboards, and he can put on a show for you. He could put on a show for you. And I think all of those stuff, that's nice. But if that doesn't amount to wins, nobody really cares, right? But it's still nice. But anyway, and JJ seems like a guy that really doesn't take losing well. So during the post-game interviews or whatever, he basically said that he was frustrated. And we're getting this from an article that we got from Fadeaway World with the following headline saying, JJ Redick gets real on frustrating Suns loss despite Luka Doncic's exciting preseason debut. And I'm like, okay, this is something that we need to talk about. But before we even get into what this article had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. All right, so let's get in with what this says. It says JJ Redick was livid after the Lakers lost to the Suns for the 2nd time in the preseason. Despite Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves' stellar offensive performance, the legendary franchise was unable to secure the win in the second half. But if you want to be a good team, you got to do it every single time. You got to do it the right thing every single time. That's why I don't think any of the groups tonight were as consistent as they needed to be. To me, we took a step forward with some of the defensive stuff from the other night against Golden State, but we took a step backward tonight, and that's a little bit frustrating, the Lakers coach noted. What are my thoughts about this? I don't want to overreact. Okay, I don't want to overreact. I can understand why JJ Redick is frustrated because you're the coach and you want to win and you want to see your team making progress, right? So I get that. But also, I think it's also important to understand that JJ's still getting back some players. For instance, this is Luka Doncic's preseason debut. He hadn't played for, I believe, three games or so. 3 of the first games that they played, he didn't play, right? So Luka was trying to integrate himself into the fold. You had Austin Reeves, who I think this was his second or third game that he's playing in the preseason, so he's just jumping into the fray. They haven't implemented LeBron James in as well. You're seeing guys like Marcus Smart, who I don't think got any minutes in the first few games. He got 20 minutes last night. I think they put Jake LaVaria in the starting lineup. So I think he's still tinkering with things. I think he's still trying to figure out what his starting lineup is going to be. I've given some suggestions. I said, and I'm not a coach, obviously, but I think that the Lakers should probably consider bringing Austin Reeves off the bench. I'm sure that's not something he's going to want to do, but I think that they may need an offensive punch coming off the bench. If you put Luka and Austin Reeves in the starting lineup, you go to your bench unit, you don't really have any bona fide scorers coming off the bench. You have, of course, Dalton Connect. You have Jackson Hayes as well. Depending on where they put Rui, you have him. You have Maxi Kleber, but Maxi Kleber is not a guy that necessarily creates his own shots for himself. We have Gabe Vincent and guys like that. So I think he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with this team. This is the reason why the preseason is important, and you need to iron these things out. And I think that it's good that Luka Doncic finally played the damn game, right? I think the other reason that they gave for Luka not playing was due to rest. Yeah, well, you had the offseason to rest, right? Like you had the offseason to rest. Now it's time to ramp things up and start playing. I looked at Luka Doncic last night, and he looked pretty much the way he always looked. He looked a little bit more spry. He looked like he had a bit of a spring in his step, but obviously the guy hasn't played any. I mean, you have off the summer, so you expected to come back looking fresh. Obviously, he's much lighter, so it'll be. I mean, his mobility should be in tip top. It should be an optimal performance there. But again, I don't have any delusions of grandeur when it comes to Luka Doncic. I know what I'm expecting from him, and I know what I'm not expecting. Even though Luka has lost weight and all of that, I don't expect him to turn into some defensive guy. I expect his endurance to be there. I expect him to be able to play long minutes, but I don't expect him to be some defensive stalwart. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit trepidatious of having a starting lineup with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, because these guys are by and large one-way players. They're not known for playing defense. And when you have these many guys on a team, especially in the starting lineup, and they're not known for playing defense, you're going to put your defense in some trouble, right? And that's really the worry here. Unless they play some great team defense, and I haven't heard anything about that. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know anything about their coaching staff having that pedigree. If you look at what the Clippers did, for example, by adding Jeff Van Gundy, who really bolstered their defense into a top 5, top 3 defense last year, I don't know if they have that type of personnel that's going to be able to emphasize this for the team. But I guess we have to wait and see. It's a work in progress. JJ Redick should be frustrated because the team should be playing better. Right now they're 1-3, and that's not what you want to see going into the regular season. You want to go in with some momentum, some continuity. And I guess we have to wait and see. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.